This is Chris Potatoes. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Potatoes, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both my TikToks. I'll be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE Monday Night Raw February 20th, 2023 reviews. So here we go, discussing about Monday Night Raw. Now, we are really on the road to WrestleMania. This is the night after Elimination Chamber, so yeah, I already discussed about Elimination Chamber and everything, so yeah, you could go check out my reviews for that. But yeah, here we go, discussing about Monday Night Raw. And yeah, we kick off the show with Sami Zayn. Now, I'm sorry if you hear music in the background, I know that, but yeah. The show kicks off with Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn comes out, and he was talking about how he feels so many feelings, but the one feeling that comes up to him the most is gratitude, and that's for the crowd and everything for standing behind him to try to take down the bloodline and everything. So yeah, that's what Sami Zayn was talking about, how he was doing everything in front of his family and all that stuff. But then he says that he wants to call out Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens then comes out, and him and Kevin Owens starts talking. Sami Zayn was talking about how he really he knows that Kevin Owens has been upset with him and everything, but he wants to thank him for what happened at Elimination Chamber, for coming out and helping him and all that stuff. And he says that he knows that Kevin Owens can't take it down the bloodline all by himself, or he can't take down the bloodline all by himself. So he says that, Kevin, would you team up with me to help me take down the bloodline? And Kevin Owens starts explaining why he helped Sami Zayn. And he looks at him and goes like, look, I said after Survivor Series that I would never be around you and help you out again. I already said that, and I'm standing by it even today. So yeah, that's what he was saying. And he says that here's the reason why I helped you out, why I helped you from a beating at Elimination Chamber. He said because you, for instance, couldn't help me out by getting beat down at the Royal Rumble. So yeah, that's what Kevin Owens was talking about, how Sami Zayn stood back and everything for him to get beat down, but he says that he couldn't do the same at all. He said that Sami Zayn stood back at the Rumble, watched him get beat down and everything. His family wasn't at front row, but they was watching it on TV and they seen everything about it, and he was upset about that. But then he said that Sami Zayn had his family sitting in the crowd and everything, and he don't want Sami Zayn's family to go through the same thing that his family did, and that's why he came out and helped Sami Zayn fight off the bloodline. So yeah, that's what Kevin Owens was talking about. But he says that, you know, that with taking down the bloodline and everything, he says that Sami can go ask Jay for help. So yeah, that's what he said. And then he walks out the ring. And then Sami Zayn starts walking out the ring, you know, saying thank you to the crowd and everything, has back turn, and then all of a sudden he gets attacked by behind by Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin starts beating him down and everything. Sami Zayn was fighting back and everything. It was during the commercial break, but you can still see it and everything. So yeah, both of them was just brawling and stuff, but Baron Corbin takes him down. He goes into the ring, grabs the mic, referees and stuff, trying to help up Sami Zayn. And then Baron Corbin starts talking a lot of crap to Sami Zayn, talking about how he's nothing, how Baron Corbin was the one that pinned Roman Reigns in 2019, and he was the last one to ever do that, while Sami Zayn would never beat Roman Reigns at all. And that's what Baron Corbin was saying. Sami Zayn had enough. He asked Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce allowed him to go down there. Sami Zayn runs down there, starts beating down Baron Corbin, clotheslines him over the top rope and everything. And then the match finally starts. Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin one-on-one. And it was an okay match. Sami Zayn bringing out a lot of moves that we haven't seen him do in a while and stuff during this match. And Baron Corbin was doing pretty good, going after Sami Zayn's back and everything, ripping off his shirt and all that stuff, just beating him down. But then he throws him to the turnbuckle, beating some down and stuff. Baron Corbin runs straight to the turnbuckle, and all of a sudden, as soon as he turns around, he gets hit with the haluva kick by Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Sami Zayn defeated Baron Corbin tonight on Raw. That's what happened. For that match, I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was an okay match to kick off the show. I'll give the whole segment that. That segment, what happened, and the match and all that stuff. That's why I'll give it. So yeah, pretty good stuff right there. But up next, we're going to be seeing the Judgment Day getting interviewed up next. Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio. That will be happening up next. Not only that, we'll see Austin Theory defending the United States Championship up against Edge later on tonight, and Seth Rollins versus The Miz later on tonight. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. It was Dolph Ziggler versus Mustafa Ali 1-on-1. But before I talk about that match, there was a few things that happened before that match happened. So, first off, we had Byron Saxton interviewing Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio, the Judgment Day, backstage. And he was asking Rhea Ripley about going to SmackDown, going face-to-face with Charlotte Flair. And she was talking about how she's going to go up to Charlotte Flair on SmackDown and everything. And Dominic said he's going to tag along and all that stuff to go see his deadbeat dad and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what Dominic was saying. And Ripley was talking about the mixed tag team match, how she don't care about what happened at Elimination Chamber, how she's just going to look forward and go face Charlotte Flair and beat her for the SmackDown Women's Championship. So yeah, that's what Rhea Ripley said. But then after that, we see the video package from what happened at the press conference with Austin Theory laying out an open challenge for the United States Championship tonight, and then Edge accepting it and all that stuff. And then we have Austin Theory get interviewed backstage, and he was talking about how everybody wants to talk about John Cena returning in 2 weeks and everything. Nobody should be talking about that. They should be talking about me, the now, right now. So yeah, that's what he was saying. He was talking about how he's going to go and face a legend tonight like Edge and beat him. So yeah, that's what Austin Theory said. But then we get to the next match. It was Dolph Ziggler versus Mustafa Ali 1-on-1, and it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. Ziggler was pretty much dominating the majority of this match. At one point, we see Ali jump back into the ring, rolling back in through the ropes and stuff, and he jumps up, but then he gets caught with a jumping DDT from Dolph Ziggler, almost getting the 3 count, but Ali barely kicking out at 2, and then Ziggler kicks him in the stomach, runs to the ropes, trying to hit the Famouser onto Ali, but Ali reverses it by doing like a handstand thing, and then he locks on the crucifix pin, pinning Ziggler for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Mustafa Ali defeated Dolph Ziggler tonight on Monday Night Raw. That's what happened. It was a pretty good match. So for that match, I'll give it 2 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good match between those two guys. So yeah, that's why I'll give that match. And then after that, we see The Miz backstage with Maurice making out and stuff, and he was about to get interviewed by Kathy Kelly, and every time when she was trying to interview Miz kept on interrupting her, and he goes like, I don't care, and all that stuff about Seth Rollins, I'll beat him tonight. And then Maurice was like, hold up, I got something for you, and gives him like an envelope thing. He opens it, and he goes like, oh my god, this is bigger news than anything else, even the All-Star thing. He says, I need to talk about this on Miz TV next week. So yeah, that's what The Miz said. Apparently he got something going on. But yeah, we'll be seeing about that next week, I guess, on Miz TV. But yeah, later on tonight, The Miz will be taking on Seth Rollins 1-on-1 tonight on Raw. And not only that, Austin Theory will be defending the United States Championship up against Edge later on tonight. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, now we go to the next segment of the night. It was Cody Rhodes. So yeah, Cody Rhodes comes out, and you know he's on the road to WrestleMania. He'll be going to WrestleMania to take on Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. But as soon as he was about to speak, he gets interrupted by Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is backstage, actually, on the big screen and everything, wearing a neck brace because he took a stunner at Elimination Chamber. I like how this man is wearing a neck brace from a stunner, and that was pretty funny. So yeah, he's wearing a neck brace, guys. Both of the titles with him and all that stuff. Roman apparently is not there tonight on Raw anyways. And Paul Heyman starts talking to Cody Rhodes, talking about how, Cody Rhodes was telling Paul Heyman, he goes like, well, come on down like you did a few weeks ago. You might as well come on down and talk to me in the ring instead of sitting back there and talking. And Paul Heyman was like, nah, I think I'm good. Because I think Paul Heyman knew what he was about to say, and, he didn't want to be around Cody Rhodes. And here's what he gets to say. So he was talking about how, that Roman Reigns will be going to WrestleMania and beat him and go, hold the titles for over 1,000 days and all that stuff. But then he says that we go to this type of scenario is like, what if you win, Cody? Like, what if you do win these titles? Like, you got 200 days, you got to go and defend the titles and everything. You got like 50 days to go do PR and all that stuff, interviews, charities, all that stuff. 30 days to go overseas and promote, and then 20 days to go promote WrestleManias, Survivor Series, SummerSlams, Royal Rumbles, and all that stuff. And, you don't got no time to yourself, your family, or nothing like that once you become champion. And as if you can, which you're not, because Roman Reigns is going to go to WrestleMania and beat you and retain these titles. And then, not only that, this man could literally take your woman or whatever, but you know what? Roman won't do that because he's a happily married man. But I'm not married and I will. So yeah, that's what Paul Heyman was saying right there, and pretty much it starts pissing off Cody Rhodes. And then Cody Rhodes was like, Roman, you better be glad that Paul Heyman is not down here, and that you better not bring him anywhere near me in the future or anything. And I know that one day we're going to go face to face, and it's not going to be the best thing ever, but just know this: at WrestleMania I am going to beat you, and I will become the new undisputed WWE Universal Champion. So yeah, that's what Cody Rhodes said. Pretty good segment. I like the segment. But yeah, it was a pretty good one. But up next, we're going to be seeing Asuka versus Nikki Cross one-on-one up next on Raw. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. It was Asuka versus Nikki Cross one-on-one. And right when the bell rung, all of a sudden the WWE Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair makes her way down there, sitting at ringside and all that stuff. Nikki Cross is doing pretty good. At one point, they was on the ring apron, Asuka and Nikki Cross. Asuka was trying to kick Nikki Cross upside the head, but Nikki Cross ducks, and Asuka kicks the ring post, and then she got hit with the reverse DDT on the ring apron by Nikki Cross and stuff. It was going pretty good and everything. Cross was almost picking up the win a few times, same for Asuka. At one point, we see Nikki Cross hit like the Phantom Driver onto Asuka, pins her, but Asuka barely kicking out at 2. Nikki Cross then picks up Asuka, trying to hit that swinging neck breaker onto her, but Asuka reverses it, rolling back through, and then locking on that submission hold with the arms and stuff, pulling them, and making Nikki Cross tap out. So yeah, Asuka defeated Nikki Cross tonight on Monday Night Raw. That's what happened. But then, after the match ended, the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair gets in the ring, points at the WrestleMania sign and stuff. Asuka's looking, smiling, and all that stuff, and then starts spitting up the green mist and everything, laughing and stuff. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff for that match. I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good match between Asuka and Nikki Cross. So yeah, that's why I'll give that match. But then after that, we see Carmella get interviewed backstage, and they was asking about Asuka and stuff, and she was like, I don't care about that freak or whatever, but one day I'll get the title shot and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what she was saying. But then we see Seth Rollins get interviewed as well, and Rollins was talking about how Logan was trying to steal his move and all that stuff, but he's in the good mood tonight because he don't know the side that everybody else knows of Seth Rollins. So yeah, that's what Seth Rollins said, and yeah, later on tonight, Rollins will be taking on The Miz one-on-one. So yeah, that match is still to come later on tonight on Monday Night Raw. So yeah, see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. It was Seth Rollins versus The Miz one-on-one, and it was an okay match. It was going back and forth and everything. Rollins was doing pretty good, and The Miz was trying to hit like a skull crusher finale onto him. Rollins reverses it, hits a curb stomp onto him, and then the crowd was chanting for one more, and Miz gets hit with a second curb stomp by Seth Rollins. And then the crowd was chanting another one, and then Rollins goes to the corner. The referee's trying to get him to stop and everything. Miz is barely getting back up, and Rollins pushes the referee out the way and hits a third curb stomp onto the Miz. The referee rings the bell due to referee stoppage. So Seth Rollins defeated the Miz by knockout, pretty much. So yeah, that's what happened. The Miz got knocked down on Raw. For that match, I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a pretty good one. So yeah, that's why I'll give that match and everything between those two guys. But then after that, we see Carmella and Adam Pearce talking backstage, and Adam Pearce makes the match official. Next week on Raw, it will be Carmella versus Asuka one-on-one. So yeah, she was ready for that one. And then after that, we see Adam Pearce getting a phone call, and it was Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green talking about how they left her over the border in Canada, and Adam Pearce was like, don't worry, we'll bring it back next week. We're going to be in Michigan. And then she was like, no, y'all ain't going to leave me in now. And he says, well, can't hear you now. And then hung up. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then after that, we see Chad Gable and Otis pretty much modeling in the mirror and stuff. And Gable was talking about how that girl thinks that he ain't good for modeling, and then all of a sudden they get interrupted by Bronson Reed, and Bronson Reed was like, "Is this how you prepare for a match?" And Gable was talking about he's the brains behind Alpha Academy and everything, and then Otis gets in Bronson Reed's face talking about, "You ain't gonna be talking to Master Gable like that," and Bronson Reed laughed and left. So yeah, that's what happened there. But up next, we're going to be seeing Bayley hosting Ding Dong Hello with her special guest, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Dakota Kai and Io Sky Damage Control, up next on Raw. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, we see Bayley hosting Ding Dong Hello with her special guest, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Dakota Kai and Io Sky Damage Control. They're out there with her and everything, and Bayley's asking some questions, all that stuff, and Damage Control was talking about how they've been holding the Women's Tag Team Championships for over 100 days and all that stuff, and how they'll go through WrestleMania and all that stuff with the Women's Tag Team Championships and all that. So yeah, that's what they was talking about. But then all of a sudden they get interrupted by Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch comes out and she says that, she wants to go win some gold at WrestleMania and how she wants to challenge Damage Control for the Women's Tag Team Championships. When Bayley was like, "Oh, with who then? You don't got no tag team partner, you don't got no friends that likes you or whatever." And then all of a sudden, Lita comes out. So yeah, Lita comes out and Becky Lynch and Lita goes into the ring and pretty much they challenge Damage Control at WrestleMania for the Women's Tag Team Championships. And Bayley, was talking to him saying no and all that stuff. And then Becky Lynch starts laying out on Bayley, pretty much telling her some stuff, and eventually they accepted, and the match is now made official. Damage Control versus Lita and Becky Lynch for the Women's Tag Team Championships. So yeah, that's what happened. But yep, it looks like we're going to be seeing Becky Lynch and Lita head into WrestleMania. But yep, that's what happened there. And then after that, we see Candice LeRae get interviewed by Byron Saxton backstage. They was talking about Johnny Gargano, and then all of a sudden she spots Nikki Cross, and she wants to ask Nikki Cross why she's been following her for months. And Nikki Cross didn't want to talk, but then she goes like, "Well, I got a match next week against Piper Niven, and I cannot focus unless you tell me why you've been following me." And Nikki Cross whispers something to her, and then she runs off. And then Byron Saxton asks Candice LeRae, what does she whisper to her about, and she says that she don't got no friends or something like that. And then she says to answer about the Johnny question, he'll be back soon. So yeah, that's why Candice LeRae said. But yep, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff. So yeah, see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. It was Chad Gable with Otis at ringside, Alpha Academy versus Bronson Reed one-on-one. So yeah, Chad Gable versus Bronson Reed one-on-one, and it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. Bronson Reed was showing his power and everything in this match. Chad Gable trying to lock on the ankle lock at one point, and Bronson Reed kicks him off and stuff. But then during this match, we see Maxine Dupree at the timekeeper's area, over the barricade and stuff, and Otis walks up to her and she gives him the card and stuff. And then, during this match, we see Chad Gable lift up Bronson Reed for a German suplex with the bridge and everything, almost getting the 3 count, but Bronson Reed barely kicking out at 2. Chad Gable notices Otis getting distracted by Maxine Dupree. He turns around, he gets beat down by Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed then hits a power slam onto him. He gets out the ring, climbs up the top turnbuckle, and jumps off with the tsunami onto Chad Gable, pinning him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Bronson Reed defeated Chad Gable tonight on Monday Night Raw. That's what happened. Pretty good matchup. I like the match. I give the match 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. Really good match between Bronson Reed and Chad Gable. So yeah, just a really good, quick, fun match right there. And yeah, Bronson Reed got face to face with Otis at one point during this match outside the ring as well, which I forgot to mention. But yeah, like I said, really good match between those two guys, Chad Gable and Bronson Reed. Chad Gable is just so underrated. It's sad, but yeah, hopefully soon he'll start getting a bigger push. I really hope so, because he is so damn good in the ring. But yeah, other than that, like I said, give that match 2.5 stars. Still to come later on tonight in the main event, it will be the United States Champion Austin Theory versus the Rated R Superstar Edge later on tonight for the United States Championship in the main event for tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a segment with Elias. But there's a few things I forget to talk about now. The Women's Tag Team Championship match, it'll be happening next week on Raw. I meant to mention that. But yeah, actually, and this actually happened earlier tonight, which I forgot to mention as well, when we see MVP and Omos talking backstage, that Omos challenges Brock Lesnar for a match at WrestleMania this year, and we'll have to wait until next week to see what Brock Lesnar's answer will be. So yeah, that's something else right there. But then after that, we see Elias in the ring, and he tells Rick Boogs to take lessons. Rick Boogs is backstage watching on the TV monitor, writing down some notes and stuff. So yeah, that's what Elias was talking about. He was talking about how the stars align and all that stuff around this time in the year and all that stuff. And he says who's ready to walk with Elias, and then all of a sudden Bobby Lashley comes out. He gets into the ring, starts destroying Elias, hits a spine buster onto him, throws him outside the ring, throwing him into the barricade and everything, throws him back into the ring, hits a spear onto him, lifts him up and locks on the Hurt Lock, making him tap out and stuff, and throws him down. And then he grabs the mic and he says that nobody can ever break out the Hurt Lock, not even Brock Lesnar or Elias or anybody else can ever break out the Hurt Lock. And he says not even Bray Wyatt will be able to. So yeah, that's what Bobby Lashley said. But yep, that's what happened there. It was an okay segment. And then after that, we see Byron Saxton interviewing Edge backstage. Edge, which was talking about how he challenges Austin Theory tonight for the United States Championship because he don't got much time left, and he hasn't won a title in a long time, since like 2011. So yeah, that's what Edge was saying. And yeah, up next it'll be the main event. It'll be Edge versus Austin Theory, 1-on-1 for the United States Championship up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a main event. It was the United States Champion Austin Theory versus Edge, 1-on-1 for the United States Championship tonight in the main event for tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Now we get started with the match. It was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth between these two guys. At one point we see Edge locking on the crossface onto Austin Theory. Austin Theory was about to tap out, and then he starts crawling to ropes, putting his foot on the ropes, so Edge had break up the crossface and everything because Austin Theory got rope break. And then at one point Austin Theory trips Edge, pinning him, has feet on the ropes. Referee counts 1, 2. The ref notices Austin Theory's feet on the ropes, so he stops the count and everything. And then Theory grabs Edge, lifts him up on his shoulders, trying to hit A-Town down onto him, but Edge lands on his feet. And then Edge hits the execution onto Austin Theory, puts his arm over him, pinning him for the 1, 2. Theory barely kicking out at 2. Edge goes to the corner, setting up for the spear on the Austin Theory, but then Finn Balor comes up, jumping on the ring apron. Edge knocks Finn Balor off the apron. Austin Theory tries to grab Edge, but Edge reverses it by going right behind him, rolling him up for a pin. 1, 2. Austin Theory barely kicking out at 2, but as soon as he kicked out, it pushed Edge closer to the ropes. And while the referee is distracted because of Austin Theory, Finn Balor comes over there, kicking Edge upside the head. And then Austin Theory grabs Edge, lifts him up on his shoulders, hits A-Town down onto him, pinning him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Austin Theory defeated Edge tonight on Monday Night Raw, and he has retained the United States Championship. That's what happened. Pretty good match. But then, after the match ended, Finn Balor immediately starts attacking Edge, beating him down and stuff. He climbs up the top turnbuckle, jumps off with the coup de grace onto Edge, and then he climbs up there for a second time and does it again, and then he climbs up there for the third time and hits the coup de grace for the third time as well onto Edge, laying him out. So yeah, Finn Balor was standing tall at the end of tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. But yeah, like I said, pretty good match between Edge and Austin Theory, and what happened after the match was pretty good. I'll give it all 3.5 stars. This is what I'll give it, in my opinion. Edge and Austin Theory had match of the night right there. Pretty good stuff. And this segment of the night was like Cody. Well, I don't know. Sami Zayn's segment was pretty good, but Cody Rhodes' segment was good as well. So yeah, those two segments was really good right there. But yeah, for tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw, I'll give it 7.5 stars as well. I'll give it. It was a pretty good episode. So yeah, like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris. And subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. I'll be down there in the description box. And I'll see you guys later for this Friday's Friday Night SmackDown reviews and this Wednesday's AEW Dynamite reviews. See you guys later. Until then.